Welcome to the 2021 graduation ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of the colors by our nationally ranked NJROTC. ASB Vice President, Ms. Crizel Alog, will now lead us in the flag salute. Please remain standing afterwards for the national anthem.
Can I have everyone stand? Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please stay standing for the national anthem. They go down the row.
give them a round of applause. Please be seated. Welcome families, guests, dignitaries, and most importantly, graduates. I am Dr. Jennifer Tomasian, and it is my pleasure to serve as proud principal of Paloma Valley High School. Joining me on and around the stage, we have some honored guests. From our Board of Trustees, Vice President, Mr. Anthony T. Stafford, Sr. Board Clerk, Dr. Randall Freeman. Board Member, Mr. David G. Nellison. Board Member, Ms. Elizabeth Vallejo. From our District Office, Superintendent, Mr. Grant Bennett. Deputy Superintendent of Business Services, Ms. Candace Rains. Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services, Mr. Robert Bruff. Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, Mr. Kirk Skorpanich. Executive Director of Technology, Mr. Joseph Williams. From the City of Menifee, Mayor Bill Zimmerman. Our PVHS counselors, Mr. Howard J. Jackson. Mr. Pete Lopez. Mr. Ivan Lumba. Ms. Patricia Roberts. Ms. Esperanza Solis. Mrs. Linda Van Kirk. And Mr. William Warren. Class of 2021, congratulations. Graduates, it has been a true roller coaster the past 4 years. The class of 2021, you all have always had a special place in my heart because your freshman year was my first year as principal here at Paloma Valley. Together, we have grown and learned and overcome insurmountable obstacles, but none of us has done this alone. You have built a network of support with your friends seated around you. You have sought guidance from teachers and staff that have encouraged you to keep striving along the way. And most importantly, for the past 13 years in your educational journey, you have relied on the unconditional support of your families and loved ones. Graduates, take a moment, look up into the stands, find your family, and tell them thank you. Class of 21, this is the point in the speech when I would normally tell you that tomorrow is the first day of the rest of your life, that tomorrow somehow everything will change as you become graduates, that you are about to walk across the stage and be transformed into full adulting members of our society. But I think we all know that our lives have already been changed. The past 15 months have forced you to face an onslaught of ups and downs and one unending change after another. You have learned to mourn the loss of things hoped for. You have had to learn to savor small joy in moments where you could find it. In short, you got an early introduction to adulthood, as many of you got jobs to support your family through this year, and all of you learned something about self-sacrifice for the greater good. Although this past year we have been distanced, we have grown together as a family. We have learned to collaborate across the space. We have taken the extra steps to reach out and connect with one another. Our Wildcat family has weathered the storm, but there are some members of our family who should have been with us here today, who over the past year were taken from us too soon. Let us take a moment of silence to honor class of 2021 members Emily Daves and Jalen Rogers, as well as for teacher Terry Walsh. Thank you. It is the moments of adversity, the times we reflect and feel so small and disconnected, that we must remember the immense impact each of us has on others. Class of 2021, you are 676 individuals, but collectively you are a force to be reckoned with. Each of you has taken a different journey here, but together you have ensured that each of you has crossed this finish line. You pushed one another and used that connection for impact for good. My hope for you today is the same as it was 4 years ago. Find your passion and live deeply. Use the skills, resources, and knowledge you have gained here to take that passion and transform not just yourself, but this entire world. Make this world, our home, better through works of kindness, sacrifice, and love. Tomorrow will be different because the class of 21 will make it so. Now, with an address on behalf of the Parish Union High School District Board of Trustees, please welcome board member, Mr. David G. Nellison.
How you doing today? I was expecting a little bit more of a round of applause there, but it's okay. Thank you, Ms. Tomasian, and good evening, Superintendent Bennett, your cabinet, my fellow board members, faculty, parents, and lastly, but definitely not least, the graduating class of 2021. Okay. I was graciously given this opportunity to try to inspire you as you make a big transition from one part of your life to another. And many of you have big goals, big ambitions, something you want to do with your life going forward. If that's the case, congratulations. You're ahead of probably 95% of the people in this country. Now ask yourself a question. Do you want to be a person who fears failure, or do you want to be a person who enjoys success? Now, many of you would say that you want success, and who doesn't? This life will give you times that you will find yourselves with opportunities to succeed, but you may be too afraid to fail that you will not even try. What if LeBron James was scared of missing a shot? He never would have taken his first shot in basketball. What if Steve Jobs was afraid that people would not like his ideas? We wouldn't have the iPhone today. Now, we all want to be known for our successes, not our failures. It's just natural. For some of us, if success does not come easily, then we just give up and we tell ourselves that the failure is not worth the success. But I tell you this now, without failure, success will never come. It's only by failing and picking ourselves up and learning from our failures that we can finally succeed. Success is so much sweeter when you have suffered through failure because you know how difficult the journey was to get there. Best-selling American author Napoleon Hill said, "No man ever achieved worthwhile success who did not, at one time or another, find himself with at least 1 foot hanging well over the brink of failure." And history is full of failures who became successes. J.K. Rowling once described herself as being as poor as it is possible to be in England without being homeless. And she went on to write the Harry Potter novels. Jim Carrey was booed off the stage in one of his first stand-up comedy routines. Oprah Winfrey was publicly fired from her first TV anchor position in Baltimore before building her current media empire. And Stephen King's first novel was rejected 30 times before it was published. These examples show us that failure is a part of life. And nobody on this earth is perfect. Look around you. Look in the stands. Look up here on stage. Guess what? We're all failures. We've all failed at one time or another. But does that mean that we need to be defined by our failures? Does that mean that we should give up when we fail? No, of course not. One of America's most well-known inventors, Thomas Edison, is not known for his nearly 2,000 failures when trying to invent the incandescent light bulb. We know him for his successes. We know him in this way because he treated each failure as a success. He successfully found new ways that would not work until he found a way that would work. And we need to look at our failures in the same way. Failure is success. Now, many people think that the fear of failure will keep them from failing. They never try anything new, and they never take any chances because they don't want to fail. In short, they never live life. They just exist. And that is true failure. Mark Twain once said, 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones that you did do. So throw off the bowlines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. In short, do not let your fear dictate your future. You've already experienced quite a bit of the struggle that awaits you when you leave this school. And as you go into the real world and you need to start adulting every day, just remember that the world owes you nothing. It was here first. You need to make life happen and do not be afraid to try new things just because you are afraid to fail. That being said, go forward in life, showing compassion to others as well. I cannot stress this enough because compassion is needed more in this world today than ever before. Be compassionate to others because just like you, they are dealing with their own failures and they are trying to learn and grow from them as well. So class of 2021, you've just spent the last 4 years of school with failures along the way, but your parents, your friends, your teachers, and most of all, you yourselves would not let you settle for that failure. You did not let your failures define you. You made mistakes. You've learned from those mistakes. You've grown, and you have turned that failure into success. And that is how you are known, the successful graduating class of 2021. So go out into the world, live your best life, and fail. And keep failing, and you'll succeed. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our first student speaker, this year's Salutatorian, Mr. Nabil Vakil.
Good evening, parents, teachers, faculty, and good evening, class of 2021. This is it. We made it. Today we are here for our high school graduation. On one hand, it feels like it took forever to get here, but at the same time, I cannot believe that we are actually here. The years seem to have flown. Wasn't it just yesterday that we were the incoming freshmen, walking through these halls, unsure of ourselves, not really knowing what classes to take and where everything was? Looking back at it, it seems like it was all over in the blink of an eye. In the words of author Charles Dickens, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times, it was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. While Dickens did not intend this for the 2021 school year, it certainly fits. If nothing else, let's just say it was definitely interesting. What made it unique for the class of 2021 is that out of our 4 years of high school, we only really spent 2.5 years on campus. If someone told me in my freshman year that we wouldn't even set foot in a class during our entire senior year, I wouldn't have believed it. While the global pandemic took us all by surprise and brought forth so many changes, in the end, it taught us how to become resilient and still stay strong in our pursuits to learn. We learned different ways to study, different ways to finish assignments, and different ways to communicate. I honestly feel that I might be better prepared for college, having gone through this wild ride. We had to learn to be more responsible for our work, to manage our time better, and to meet odd midnight deadlines. But more than anything, it taught us that we can overcome any obstacles, even when those obstacles are extraordinary. It taught us that we are made of true grit, that we are full of passion and perseverance. It taught us that there is nothing that cannot be accomplished when we set our minds to it. It taught us that family and life matter above all. It taught us that we are stronger together. It taught us to have faith, that everything will still go on and we will always find another way. Of course, these valuable lifelong lessons would not have been possible without the dedicated contributions of all of our teachers who never gave up on us, who were there every step of the way as our guides and cheerleaders. And because of them and our family support, today we stand ready at the helm to start our next journey. For some of us, that means college, while for others, it will mean beginning to work full time. And some of us will take time to find our passion and purpose in life. In the next chapter of our lives, we will find that our paths may look different, and no matter which path we choose, we will take what we have learned about ourselves over the last 4 years. This is only the beginning. We are now taking the first steps into our futures, out of the sheltered protection of our families, into the real world. What we do now will define the rest of our lives. All that I ask is that whichever road you choose to take, you do so with your whole heart. It won't necessarily be easy, but it'll be worth it. Go wherever your heart leads you. but don't allow hardships or difficulties to break your spirit. Life will always throw problems our way, but such is life. Don't let that deter you. Remember that we were the generation that defined a brand new schooling system, that we overcame the obstacles posed by distance learning, that we didn't give up in the face of adversity. Instead, we rose above it. We found another way. We carved a new path. Never forget your own power. You're all strong, smart, successful individuals, full of creativity, full of vigor, and full of life. Whatever you choose to do after high school, and wherever you choose to go, you'll be fine. You'll overcome. In fact, you'll even thrive, because that's who we are. We are the class of 2021, and I'm honored to be part of it. Now let's get this show on the road.
Thank you, Nabil. Now welcome this year's valedictorian, Mr. Noah Young.
Fellow members of graduating class of 2021, it is the time. We have arrived at the peak of my high school career, graduation. One of the very rare moments that we will remember for years to come for a whole plethora of reasons. It was just like yesterday we weren't graduating because, well, yesterday we weren't graduating. But in all seriousness, it's a little crazy how fast it all seemed to go by to us now, in this very moment. 4 years ago, we were just little freshmen that had no idea what to expect next. Many of us were still naive about the world around us, and we're still finding our identity amongst our peers, myself included. I remember when I was just a wee little freshman wanting to major in physics when I went to college, because I saw some few physics videos with the reasoning of the quote, I always like science, I guess. Of course, after actually taking a physics class, suffice to say, I no longer wanted to major in physics. Sorry, Dr. Heine. With that in mind, however, I think it's time that I address the elephant in the stadium. Although there were many things that have happened in the past 4 years of our time here at Paloma, I don't think you need me to say that if all of our years here were personified, our senior year would be coughing up a lung the entire time and likely taking a nap afterwards. Regardless of whether or not you believe the extent of which the quarantine took place was warranted or not, it has had a profound effect on all of us. When all of this began last March of junior year, I'm sure many of us, and of course myself included, were glad that we were going to have a brief break from school and thought this was going to last long. As the final months of our junior year closed off and the quarantine summer months passed along as well, most of us figured out that perhaps this pandemic was going to last just a tad bit longer than what we initially thought. Then, as senior year began to culminate and we were assigned our classes and our teachers with quarantine still in full force, I believe most of us realized that it was going to be a long senior year. However, other than the actual teachers and classes that we seniors took this year, everyone affected by the pandemic was enrolled in a special class of their own. This class was mental health, and the teacher was quarantine. Unlike our actual living teachers, quarantine's teaching methods were silent. As senior year began, we had to manage learning through a computer while managing the lessened social contact with our peers and society as a whole. Most of us only left the house for necessities, or if you worked, to work. And some of us rarely ever left our homes because our guardians got the things required. So as days, weeks, months passed, quarantine began to give its silent lectures. There were many lectures that were taught. How to stay motivated despite there not being a clear goal, how to deal with less physical contact with others, how to stay positive when surrounded by negativity, or how to not feel lonely, or how to simply achieve any resemblance of joy. For many of us, being able to leave home and be amongst our peers at school and socialize is how we deal with our problems, or, at the very least, escape our problems. And at its core, having a support system is crucial for swimming through the ocean of our lives. However, despite living the most connected time of human history, being physically separated from the pillars that helped stabilize us, that we had to hold it. Oh, sorry. Can't speak apparently. However, despite living the most connected time of human history, being physically separated from the pillars that help stabilize us means that we had to hold ourselves up. And any help that we got from our support system had to be remote, like we were drifting through the oceans of life. on our own boats, with rules signifying that we could not come in contact with any other vessels. On these boats, we had to survive ourselves, with quarantine still silently lecturing us as each day passed. Quarantine began to grade us on how well we could support our own mental health, and just like any other class, some people stayed afloat much easier than others. I think I can speak for a lot of us when I say it was difficult to manage. Regardless, senior year is already known as a year when a large amount of people are stayed with senioritis, and quarantine was allowing little to no leniency. To be blunt, we got stressed, we got tired, and we sure as heck got demotivated. Yet, despite all this, here we are right now in the stadium, graduating. Despite the turmoil, despite the stress, and despite the pain, we can all say that we survived some of the worst of it. Quarantine has had its lectures slowly fade away, yet I believe its teachings will stay with us for the rest of our lives. There's a lot of things that we take for granted, and it's important to recognize them and cherish them for what they are. None of us truly know what the future will hold for us, as the future is never truly 100% set in stone. So, with that being said, although I wish I could thank every single teacher and friend that has helped me to reach this point, I think everyone would prefer if we finish graduation sometime tonight. So, I would like to thank a few people in particular. First, of course, I would like to thank my mom and dad for raising me and keeping a roof over my head despite me stressing them out all the time. Secondly, I would like to thank Lundy for teaching me that 1, you can be bald and still successful, and 2, that when you get punched down, you have to get back up. And thirdly, I would like to thank Miss Campbell, my French teacher, for not only teaching me that there's more to France than bread and them surrendering during World War II, but also being someone who has given me amazing life advice and was there when I needed someone to talk to. And finally, I would like to give a very special thank you to all my close friends who have stayed with me despite all my reckless shenanigans and helped me to sail my metaphorical ship of life. And for being the people that have given me the courage to say to all of you that I, No Young, am proudly a gay man. And on that sappy note, congratulations, class of 2021. And here's to the many, many more years of our lives beyond high school.
Thank you, Noah. Mr. Medit and members of the Board of Trustees, I certify that the Paloma Valley High School class of 2021 has fulfilled all of the requirements of the Parish Union High School District and the state of California for the graduation of high school. I would like to now introduce the Superintendent of the Parish Union High School District, Mr. Grant Bennett, to accept the class.
Thank you, Dr. Tomasian. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I accept your certification of these students. Based upon that certification, I now declare that these students are graduates of Paloma Valley High School of the Parish Union High School District. Class of 2021, congratulations.
All right, okay. Noah Young.
Elise Abakerly.
Nabil Vakil.
Olivia Taylor.
Raquel Martinez.
Zoe Burns.
Chriselle Alog.
Elijah Ramos.
Jaden Green.
Delilah Polito.
Ashton Gonzalez.
Jesus Alonso Parada.
Carly Elizabeth McDonald.
Lauren Williams.
Maria Aceves.
Gianna Fronte.
Elijah James Del Rosario Acuna.
Taylor Lopez.
Jericho Ryan Valdez Agapito.
Dylan Amundsen.
Daisy Crystal Palacios.
Caden Richard Angel.
Adrian Alcala.
Deja Andrews.
Miranda Alcala.
Caleb Anderson.
Jorge Alcantar.
Danielle Eris Torres Andal.
Christian Alegria.
Brandon Anaya.
Maria Magdalena Alegria.
Juliana Alvarado.
Myra Alegria.
Isaac Almario.
Edwin Angulo.
Reagan Lynn Allen.
J.R. Jose Ariano.
Natalie Abigail Alfaro.
Daniel Alberto Argumedo.
Alexia Danielle Alfaro.
Xavier Arizala.
Zachary David Banuelos.
Dominic Armandas.
Anessa Monique Banuelas.
Jose Araguin.
Aiden J. Goyar Baluyot.
Ryan Truman Ashley.
Cameron Bolkes.
Marshall Xavier Avila.
Andrew Bogus.
Amanda Christine Ayala.
Glenn Charles Baldwin.
Brady Renee Ayala.
Cody John Baker.
Corinne Berekman.
Abigail Baker.
Ashley Cassandra Barajas.
Alejandro Ayala Santillan.
Daniel Lee Barnes.
Selena Ayala.
Eric Rafael Barragan.
Juliana Cristina Ayala.
Millie Esmeralda Barrientos.
Kyle Bolden.
Imara Graciela Basantes.
My name is hard to say. Now
Marissa Bolanos.
Mauj Bassam.
Brandon Bogdanov.
Kylie Amber Bass.
Kira Bowen.
Tabitha Beecham.
Brandon Joseph Bocanegra.
Jacob Caden B.
Alexander Joel Blanchard.
Deja Nicole Beltran.
Alyssa Leilani Bishop.
Jaden Botticelli.
Miriam Bermudez.
Sophia Bradley.
Tristan Lewis Bergman.
Trinity Angelique Bradley.
Christopher Baralt.
Marissa Mariah Brasenio.
Nathaniel Bennett.
Jacob Anthony Brodowski.
Aaron Kalalang.
Alejandro Brooks.
Marvin Pereña Caragal.
Janessa Brown.
Alyssa Byram.
Kylie Alyssa Brown.
Wyatt Bush.
Connie Brown.
Carly Jane Diane Burton.
Soleil Jean Bruner.
Erica Bundalian.
Miguel Angel Bacaro.
Ivy Bowie.
Ariel Camacho.
Gabriel Angel Bugarin.
Kayla Janelli Camacho Mendoza.
Tyler James Budman Gabriel.
Isaac Jacob Camillo.
Jason Buckley.
Carla Ruby Cantu.
Romanica Buchanan.
Jennifer Cantu Zaranda.
Jade Kiana Cabner Rojas.
Caleb Capelli.
Damian Castro.
Danielle Cardenas.
Aubrey Rosalia Castle.
Jonna Rose Carey.
Diego Antonio Castillo.
Kayla Marie Carpio.
Ariana Celine Castillon.
Jamal D. Carruthers.
Anthony Alexander Castaneda Molina.
Isaac Carasosa.
Alonzo Castaneda.
Teresa R. Sandana.
Sandra Casas.
Nathan Avery Serta.
Owen M. Carvalho.
Abraham Josiah Cesena.
Ezekiel Carvajal.
Kimberly Chavez Martinez.
Rio Cheyenne Crowfoot.
Jesse Emmanuel Chinchilla.
Evan Michael Crow.
Caitlin Christofferson.
Colleen Cook.
Noemi Sita.
Tatiana Creighton.
Fernando Cisneros.
Jarrett Allen Cox.
Corey Clausing.
Alyssa Ann Cowell.
Jaden Miles Colbert.
Angeline Costales.
Javon Anthony Colbert.
Elizabeth Maria Cortez.
Jacqueline Cruz.
Ayali Nancy Correa Vasquez.
Zarette A. Cruz.
Evelyn Eileen Concha.
Christian Omar Cueva.
Matthew David Coleman.
Grayson Cuff.
Logan Glenn DeLoss.
Elizabeth Quinn.
Holly De Leon.
Emily Dahlstrom.
Camilla De Siqueira.
Shekinah Dollenpines.
Miguel de Loera Bayin.
Daniel Dare.
Eileen Brianna De La Tijera.
Josh Michael Dave.
Ishmael De La Rosa.
Irvin James David.
Dalia De La Mora.
Destiny Davila.
Regina Ludina Day.
Jaden R. DeMartino.
I just want to say the last name's pronounced Deserillo.
Cameron Davis.
Gerard Deserillo.
Anthony Gerard Deserillo.
Thank you.
Eric Richard Davis.
Dylan DeTate.
Aaliyah Alicia Davis.
Joey DeTate.
Eduardo Farias.
Roberto Diaz.
Joshua Thomas Ewing.
Vincent N. Diaz.
Panati Evan.
Shane Lawrence Montano Domingo.
Enrique Luis Espinoza.
Madison Ashley Drake.
Sydney Candace Escalante.
Jocelyn Duarte.
Kaya Janae Epps.
Caleb Michael Dutzman.
Daniel Enriquez.
Shannon Janine Duncan.
Kaylee Elston.
Alexis Oswaldo Farias Magana.
Thea Katrina Ednalau.
Jason Raphael Fapon.
Jamari Dunnigan.
Jacob Timothy Figo.
Blake Biagio Fry.
Nathan Angelo Castillo Fernandez.
Ciara Renee Frederick.
Geneva Michelle Fedesquia.
Hayden Frazier.
Daniel Fisher.
Matthew Francisco.
Shane Fisher.
Vanessa Fragoso.
Abel Flores.
Heidi Fox.
Adrian Misael Flores.
Mish Reyes Formoso.
Diego V. Flores.
Roxanne Sane Flowers.
Lydia Flores.
Sebastian Flores.
Evening Celeste Fuentes.
Nydia Janet Flores.
Christy Nicole Gahan.
Samantha Gomez.
Monique Elizabeth Gallegos.
Kobe Gomez.
Jasmine Marie Garber.
Alexa Marie Gomez.
Amber Garcia.
Savannah Rose Gerg.
Adriana Garcia.
Ethan James Girardi.
Victor Garcia.
Caleb George.
Jana Alcina Garcia Castro.
Marco Francisco Sepulveda Gaxiola.
Priscilla Sarah Garibay.
Samantha Lee Gaunt.
Victoria Garibay.
Matthew Gary Gaunt.
Job Asher Garingo.
Ethan Michael Gasparini.
Danelli Ann Gonzalez.
Matthew Gaspar.
Jenna Jade Gonzalez.
Cesar Octavio Guzman.
Alejandro Francisco Gonzalez.
Adriana Christine Guzman.
Anthony Isaiah Gonzalez.
Abraham Guzman.
Madeline M. Gonzalez.
Carlos Eduardo Gutierrez.
Victor Gonzalez.
Aiden Marcus Gutierrez.
Yasmin Adelith Gonzalez.
Daniel Guerrero Reyes.
Aubrey Goodman.
Gary Griffin.
Lene Gooseby.
Kaylin Olivia Greve.
Tyler Christopher Gural.
Elijah Gregory.
Janelle Meredith Gray.
Roman Greco.
Miriam Saeed Halka.
Misty Hernandez.
Dejane Sky Hall.
Jose Luis Hernandez.
Ryan Vincent Hall Jr.
Harris Natalie Hernandez.
Juliana Rose Halloran.
Andrew Hernandez.
Jason T. Hanmer.
Aaron Charles Hernandez.
Jeffrey A. Hanmer.
Ryan Headley.
Tyler Timothy Hansen.
Alyssa Headley.
Eric Taylor Lee Hardy.
Blake Alexander Hauser.
Zachary Brian Hardy.
Madison Rose Harder.
Austin Michael Harris.
Travis Hart.
Darius James Xavier Harris.
Diego Embert.
Roxana Hernandez. Sol Sabina Hernandez.
Patricia Janelle Hurley.
Roberto Juvenal Herrera.
Toby Daniel Hunt.
Alana Grace Haran.
Aiden Christopher Hughes.
Scott Parker Hicks.
Casey William Hooker.
Leasia Alexis Hill.
Alexa Rose Hubbard.
Haley Leanne Hilton.
Justin Ryan Hoover.
Janira Santana Hyman.
Morgan Andrea Holmgren.
Victoria Ann Hinson.
Brett Fleming Hoke.
Jordan Alejandro Ingram.
Benson Vunk.
Ryan Irwin.
Alicia Ann Kenny.
Elizabeth Highsmith Isom.
Jared Kelly.
Savannah Ray Jager.
Olivia Carwin.
Gabriel Angel Jaime.
Timothy Kapanui.
Jaylin Hadagi.
Renica Dizon Junio.
Gabriela Malia Herge.
Ruben Leonardo Juarez.
Andrew Giles Meriden.
William Houston Jones.
Christian Jimenez.
Kayla Alexis Jones.
Jabari Ramon Johnson.
Jamari Halal Jones.
Kaylee Ann Johnson.
Aiden Riley Jones.
Brianna Marie Kenny.
Kendall Marie Johnson.
Haley Nicole Key.
Deanna Rain Lee.
Kendall L. King.
Abigail M. Lianos.
Brianna Rose Koshak.
Courtney N. Lee.
Jillian Rose Faith Kolowski Quaid.
Haley Marie Lawrence. Ricky Alex Laurel.
Alexa Ann Kortova.
Santino Alfonso LaRocca. Abigail Crichton. Seth Ryan Langland. Rebecca Cutin. Derek Tyrone Lambros. Freedom Quakali. Rachel Leah Laird. Kalea Hokolani Kwan. Sean Limbawan Lagon. Alexis Jordan Ledoux. Isaac Belangi Laban. Emily Lomeli. Jennifer Lee. Melanie Lomeli. Maritza Itzel Lemus. Kara Maddox. Kaylee Lynn Leone. Akira Tori Macklin. Elijah James Lewis. Andrew James Lester. Dylan Leba. Maya Louise Leckenbill. Landon Jacob Labat. Caitlin Luck. Isaac Linon.
Acacia Monet Love.
Bernardo Loiza.
Ilian Zoe Lopez Ortiz.
Alejandro Lobato Alcantar.
Vanessa Lopez.
Rosemary Erica Loera.
Joshua Vargas Lopez.
Landon McKay Lominick.
Ernesto E. Martinez.
Jasmine Madrigal.
Eric Martinez.
Manuel Magallanes.
Dominic Leonel Martinez.
Tyler Reese Magny.
Michaela Lynn Marshall.
Reina Maiden Navarro.
Iriza Marshall.
Shiloh Danielle Majors.
Andrew Bradley Marquez.
Emily Ann Maldonado.
Hayden Joseph Marquardt.
Emma Maldonado.
Levi Marin.
Jenna Nicole Malone.
Caitlin Ashley Martisich.
Randa Mai Mingohick.
Jaden Martinez.
Ryan Marcado.
Jasmine Martinez.
Tyler Mitchell Marcoux.
Owen Jacob Martinez.
Johnny Mendoza.
Tyler Shane Covert Martinez.
Braylon Gray Cabais Mejia.
Jordan Massey.
Oscar Fabian Medina.
Giovanna Matron.
Jacob Daniel MacPhail.
Elisa Lynn Maddox.
Jared McMillan.
Abigail Margaret Matsky.
Cole Alberto McMahon.
Mackenzie Louise Maxwell.
Trace Michael McKee.
Sahara Nashay McAnderson.
Chloe May McIntosh.
Tyler Jack Mesa.
Jason McFarland.
Colin R. Michelson.
Dylan McEvers.
Alexis Leona Michael.
Christian Andrew Murrow.
Angela Michael.
Emma Isabela Munoz.
Antonio Malane.
Corinne Munoz.
Aiden J. Miller.
Chase Parker Muden.
Madison Rose Miller.
Christopher Lee Mueller.
Lee Marvin Molina.
Brooklyn Sierra Mosby.
Jose Mondragon Loa.
Ashton Delbert Morse.
Jocelyn Henry Monreal.
Haley Morgan.
Ashley Jade Muscarella.
Samantha Moreno.
Wendy Megan Neighbors.
Amy Elizabeth Moreno.
Luke Naranjo.
Jacob Michael Moore.
Mildred Navarro.
Audrey Mabasa Orcio.
Sebastian Patrick Niamtu.
Nathan Andrew Ornelas.
Shania Diona Neezer.
Oladi Olokami.
Julio Anthony Negretti.
Dylan Richard Olsgaard.
Juliana May Negretti.
William Lee Obert.
Maxine Michelle Newton.
Tyler Delpatrick O'Keefe.
Kevin Doe Wynn.
Amber Nicole O'Brien Lovato.
Sean Sun Nguyen.
Kyle O'Brien.
Michaela Kristen Orozco.
Summer Lee No.
Tyler Lamont Orta.
Kaylee Blossom Nicotero.
Jessica Renee Ortega.
Quincy Nichols.
Silali Angel Ortega.
Sean Lawrence Grant Perez.
Miguel Angel Ortega Abreu III.
Naya L. Perez.
Gilbert Ortiz.
Ariana Elizabeth Pareda.
Isabella Rose Ortiz.
Kyra Perkostegi. Tevin Jesse Pendon.
Diego Osornio.
Kyler Pender Mack.
David Michael Padilla.
Claudia Palaya. Christian Pierce.
Natalie Padilla.
Jagger Maine Paulson.
Valerie Palencia.
Elaine Sariano Panabigan.
Sebastian Carlos Perez.
Jader Tyler Prevost.
Ivan Perez Zavala.
Byron Anastasio Prevost II.
Connor Jace Peterson.
Gwendolyn Zara Polson.
JC Peterson.
Talia Potvin.
Joseph Pfeiffer.
Danita Franz Portes.
Sean Barak Fan.
Caleb John Ramirez Pontanillas.
Haley Dean Pia.
Troy Poe.
Alyssa Malia Phelps.
Alejandro Leonel Plasencia.
Raina Andrea Page Phillip.
Nathan William Pinter.
Jameson John Pichardo.
Nevaeh Nicole Reed.
Maya Jasmine Pierfax.
Treneva Annette Reed.
Adrian Price.
Samaya Shamir Nicole Reed.
Shaylee Star Ann Preeb.
Joel Ramon Reyes.
Ione Prieto.
Chad Franklin Rathbone.
Nathan Kyle K. Provito.
Tyson James Ramsey.
Roy Pulido.
Jose Cristobal Ramos Martinez.
Hannah Pinn.
Nakai Ramos.
Haley Elizabeth Quick.
Jaylyn Jeanette Ramos.
Julie Marie Rea.
Juliana Noel Ramirez.
Lillian Miracle Rainier.
Alexandra Luz Ramirez.
Abril Resendez.
Sierra Romero.
Isaac Joel Revolta Soto.
Olivia Jade Romero.
Alina Raylene Reyes.
Naira Rojas.
Justin Matthew Reyes.
Sky Marie Rodriguez.
Madison M. Richardson.
Richard Rodriguez.
Tyler Anthony Riggs.
Hector Jose Rodriguez.
Raylene Rios.
Giselle Perez Rodriguez.
Julio Cesar Rivera Jr.
Emma Zaylene Rodriguez.
Sarah Jade Roberts.
Daniel Rodriguez.
Eduardo Rocha.
Adrian Rodriguez.
Michael Marcus Rocha.
Pedro Henrique Rodriguez.
Daisy Alejandra Rosales.
Jordan Luis Sanguino.
Michael Ruano.
Lacey Jewel Sandoval.
Augustin Ruiz.
Eric Sandoval.
Ariana Rose Ruiz.
David Javier Sandoval.
Martin Ruiz Duran.
Caitlin Haley Sandecki.
Alexia Russell.
Isabel Sanchez.
Kaylee Ryder.
Franz Michael Sanchez.
Blythe Ryther.
Abigail Maria Samuelson.
Juan Pablo Sainz Ariano.
Madeline Ray Sampson.
Adamari Isabel Salas.
Alyssa Saldivar.
Anthony James Salas.
Ashley Guadalupe Saldana.
Damian Martin Jeremiah Santa Cruz.
Haley Brooke Shigas.
Ivan Santien.
Valerie Linda Sheedy.
Jillian Marie Savari.
Marlise Vivian Sheedy.
Luca Skipper.
Benjamin Gavin Sevilla.
Jaden Schlarman.
Aubrey Jane Filizardo Cerna.
Evan Leon Schmidt.
Daniel Elias Serafio.
Victoria Jordan Schmidt.
Shane Anthony Sr.
Astrid Carolyn Schmidt.
Mario Jr. Segura Benitez.
Evan Shelton Spahn.
Arnold Sedano.
Troy Isaiah Schreiber.
Connor Seals.
Ethan Zachary Shooter.
Scooty Allen Strong.
Young Faye Selena Shi.
Shaylin Michelle Stork.
Angelica Cechek Morales.
Stone Stevens.
Gabriella Sidebottom.
Alyssa Michelle Stenlake.
Justin Seiler.
Christopher Michael Steele.
Audrey Margaret Sanchez Sippin.
Allison Stark.
Olivia Slotsky.
Elijah Jacob Spence.
Latrell Francois Smith.
Caesar Soto.
Robbie Smith Jr.
Diana Leticia Soto.
Robert Christopher Stewart.
Valeria Soria Guzman.
Anthony Stucker.
Joel Chanvisal Sam.
David Jeremiah Oscar Jamie Zuniga.
Jacob David Torres.
Emily Swanson.
Dylan Michael Torres.
Alyssa Ariana Tafala.
Angelina Torres.
Carlo Tagle.
Sean Michael Torigoy.
Jasmine Hale Tan.
Sierra Lynn Tomlin.
Abigail Jasmine Tanjoko.
Jacob Evan Tate.
Robert Taylor III.
Anthony Chaya.
Angela Thomas.
Kiera Kalyan Tait.
Antonio Lee Thomas.
Janae Lynn Tilden.
Nadia Nicole Torres.
Dominic Joe Tienda.
Karina Alexis Trejo.
Fiona Valeria Thompson.
Braden Kyle Udell.
Tylee Von Moose.
Christopher Evan Udell.
Alexandra E. Vizcara.
Michelle Valadez.
Isabella Rose Villegas.
Guillermo Valdez Jr.
Laila M. Villarreal.
Samantha Valdez.
Angelina Villanueva.
Simon Vargas.
Urban Osvaldo Villa.
Alejandra Vasquez.
David Vidrio.
Mark Crystal Vasquez Acosta.
Vanessa Aline Venegas.
Andrew Christopher Vasquez.
Josue Velasco.
Brandon Welcome.
Algin Badar.
Asa Washington.
Gabriel Sebastian Samudio.
Waldell Jeremiah Webb.
Francisco Jaime Zamora Jr.
Israel Weiss.
Antonio Moises Zamora.
Carly Wellman.
Avery Elizabeth Yoakum.
Brendan Wetzel.
Sydney Monique Woodley.
Alyssa Marie White.
Isabel Noble Wolf.
Kyla Willow Wittis.
Jonathan Patrick Witt.
Wyatt Wilkerson.
Jenna Kaylee Williams.
Brian Maxwell Williams.
DJ Lamar Williams.
Jacob Orlowski.
Sedarius Kalari Williams.
Heather Summers of Cosca. Kevin Perez Zozobrado. Samuel Zepeda. Justin Andrew Zeladon.
Ms. Raquel Martinez, ASB President, will now lead the class of 2021 in the turning of the tassel. All right.
A little short, so I might have to.
It'll pick you up.
Okay. And then. Hi, guys. I first just want to say that I'm so proud of each and every one of you, and thank you for making this the best 4 years of my life. Okay, here we go. Congratulations, class of 2021. The turning of the tassel symbolizes the step we each take in moving from student to graduate. Senior class of 2021. Before you stand up, please make sure the tassel is on the right side of your cap. Now, please stand up for the turning of the tassel. Okay, now please take your left hand, reach up and grab the tassel. Move it to the left side of your cap. Congratulations, class of 2021!
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the graduating class of 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to our commencement ceremonies tonight. Friends, families, guests, you may make your way out the same way you came in, by the stadium entrance, by the snack bar. Graduates, you will make your way out back the same way you came in, up the stairs and out through the front gate. Congratulations, graduates.